What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Wyatt Tactical. Today we're talking about one of the most respected duty uppers on the market, the Geissele URGI, or Upper Receiver Group Improved. So this is the same platform that was developed by U.S. Special Operations, and today we're going to talk about what makes it special, whether it's worth the money, and whether it performs at the range. If you like gun reviews, tactical gear, real-world testing, make sure to hit subscribe, like this video, and share it. It really helps the channel grow and lets me get more content out to you guys. So let's continue talking about the URGI. So the URGI, like I said, stands for Upper Receiver Group Improved. It was developed as an upgrade to the military standard M4 platform, focusing on improved reliability, durability, and accuracy. This specific upper is one that I built myself. Instead of seeing the Colt upper and lower receivers, I went with Geissele upper and lower receivers, just to keep everything pretty much Geissele, besides a couple of key components that we'll get to here in a little while. But anyway, so the upper receiver group is the Geissele upper receiver, the Geissele Mark 16 handrail, and the airborne charging handle. Some things that I changed from the ones that you could buy on like Primary Arms or something like that, as they're close to URGI clone uppers, is I try to stay true to the original builds as I possibly could, and I use a Daniel Defense cold forged barrel. The Daniel Defense barrel is pretty much one of the big key things that gave this upper receiver group its reputation. So the barrel was originally used for US SOCOM for the URGI uppers. It is a 1-to-7 twist cold hammer forged chrome lined barrel. Typically you'll see it in 10.3, 11.5, and 14.5 configurations. I have the 14.5, and it has a 1-to-7 twist rate. It's built with a 4150 chrome moly vanadium steel, which is known for durability under high heat and high round counts. So one thing that you'll see about these barrels is that they go forever. Daniel Defense did a really great job in designing those barrels. They have literally had hundreds of thousands of rounds through them, and were still usable. Now, with that round count, you're going to get, a little bit larger groupings, but the key point is they are beat up and they still keep going. So some of the key things you'll see about the barrel is it being cold hammer forged. It's 1-to-7 twist rate. It's chambered in 5.56 NATO. It has a government profile, and what that means is that it has a mid-length gas system. Instead of this short barrel having a carbine gas system, it has a mid-length system, and that just helps with some of the mitigation of the gases coming back, helps give you quicker follow-up shots and less perceived recoil. It is probably one of the most accurate barrels that I've ever shot out of an AR, and I think that has to do with just the quality control from Daniel Defense. Typically, out of these barrels, you'll see a 1 to 1.5 MOA group if you're using quality ammo, and also if you're, a good shot. If you're just a weekend warrior and you're going out there shooting, you might not see those kind of round groupings. So a couple other things about the Daniel Defense barrel is it's not a precision barrel. This is a combat barrel. So there are barrels out there that can get you tighter groupings than 1 to 1.5 MOA, but out of a combat barrel, that grouping is incredible. You're talking about this size on a person. I mean, that's pretty good. Like I said, the barrel is extremely durable. It being cold hammer forged, it compresses the steel around the mandrel and produces a dense, extremely durable bore. That's why CHF barrels are common in military rifles. It gives you an extremely long barrel life. It's resistant to heat and throat erosion, and the chrome lining adds corrosion protection. So realistically, you're looking at 15 to 20,000 rounds before noticeable accuracy degradation. Like I said, hundreds of thousands of rounds through these things and they're still usable. So the gas system, they tend to be a little bit overgassed with this barrel. And the reason for that is the reliability. Even with weak ammo, dirty rifles, extreme conditions, the gun's going to keep cycling, no problem. When I shoot this suppressed, I'm getting a little bit more gases coming back because it is overgassed, but having the airborne charging handle, having this lip on there, does help keep some of those gases out of my face. Also, I will be switching to a Surefire RC3 can to put on this thing, which is a flow-through design, and that should help mitigate some of those gases as well. I'm not getting too much right now because I'm using a 30 caliber can that I have on my MCX. I'm just swapping them back and forth, and having that larger bore is mitigating some of those gases that I would be getting in my face, but I think that we can do better with the RC3. More about the Geissele build. We talked about the barrel and everything like that, which is really good. This rail is the Mark 16 rail from Geissele. Super lightweight, but look how much space that I have to put accessories. If I wanted to have, a weapon light on here, which I'll get eventually, if I wanted to have a laser device, it's got built-in QD mounts for my QD swivels for my sling, and the fit and finish on this thing. Look at this coating, it's gorgeous. And hooking up with the upper receiver, there is no room for this to move. So me losing my accuracy with a laser device or something like that isn't a huge worry of mine with this design. Let's see, what else can I say about the URGI. So some of the pros on this is the build quality that Geissele puts out is extremely good build quality. You're going to get great accuracy for a duty weapon, extreme reliability. The rail system is excellent, and it's battle proven. This thing has been used by special operations, and they beat the crap out of their guns and need them to be reliable, because this is a tool that they put their lives on. So having it be something that is reliable is super important. Some of the cons, Geissele stuff is not cheap. If anyone knows about Geissele, they know that the build quality comes at a price. You're gonna get what you pay for. But I think that the price is definitely worth the product that you're getting. I've owned a lot of ARs over the years, and this is probably my favorite one that I've ever had. The other thing that I have changed out of the URGI is I don't use a Geissele bolt carrier. So this is clear. See, the bolt carrier that I'm using is the Surefire enhanced bolt carrier group. And it's a whole system. It comes with the bolt carrier, it comes with the buffer spring and the buffer tube. Or I'm sorry, not the buffer tube, but the buffer spring and the buffer. And it is designed for more reliability, to run better with being suppressed or in harsh conditions, and you combine that with the Geissele reliability, the Daniel Defense barrel, and how it's designed to be run in harsh conditions and with large round counts, and get a super reliable, well-feeling shooting rifle. So the Surefire BCG is not just another coated BCG or slightly tweaked from mil-spec parts. They redesigned the bolt carrier group for how the AR cycles. The system was designed with the help from Jim Sullivan. He's one of the engineers who helped develop the original AR-15 operating system. So it isn't a marketing hype or anything like that. It's someone who has a deep understanding of the platform, trying to improve it decades later, keep the ARs relevant with the newer weapon systems coming out, and just shown a passion for, you know, his weapons that he's helped design. So I think that was really cool. Like I said, it's a complete operating system, has the optimized bolt carrier group, has a proprietary buffer, and it has a improved buffer spring. It does have a delayed bolt unblocking. The carrier is slightly lengthened at the cam path, which delays the bolt unlocking just a little bit. And what that does is it lets chamber pressures drop more before the round extraction. It reduces the stress on the bolt lugs, and it helps the extraction reliability. Testing on those bolt carriers shows about a 15% lower chamber pressure before the bolt unblocks, which reduces the wear and improves reliability. So that 15 to 20,000 rounds that we were talking about earlier theoretically should be even higher. So for a suppressed rifle, that's huge, because when you suppress it, you're having more of those gases blown back, which increases wear and makes these parts run out a lot quicker. So by mitigating that issue with the design, you're going to have a longer reliability lifespan of all of your parts. The bolt carrier has a longer carrier stroke. It has a shortened gas key, which allows the carrier to travel further back into the receiver, and the result is about 60% more travel past the magazine. So what this does is it helps prevent the bolt overpass malfunctions. It's going to help with feeding issues with weak magazines, and once your rifle gets dirty, it's going to help as well. With it coming back further, if you've got a weak magazine, it's not pushing the round up as strongly as it would before. Having it come back further gives a little bit more time for that magazine to push that round up, so it is in correct path when the bolt comes back forward. If the rifle's dirty, coming back a little bit further gives you more spring weight coming back, so it's going to still keep cycling even when it's a little bit dirtier. And just, again, on the reliability. It also has a counterweight system inside the bolt carrier. Let's see if I can take this out and kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. So if you know how a bolt carrier is usually set up, this is hollow. But this has the counterweight system in there. It's springed. And that helps delay the unblocking of the bolt from the barrel. It's going to keep the carrier to the rear longer, and it's going to eliminate bolt bounce when the bolt goes back into battery. That last one is extremely important for full auto or suppressed rifles, where the bolt bounce can cause reliability issues. Some of the pros on this bolt carrier group is the extremely smooth cycling. The rifle feels softer and smoother during recoil. better suppressor performance. I have not had a single malfunction out of this rifle with this bolt carrier group. And shooting suppressed, your rifle gets dirtier quicker. And like I said, I've put hundreds of rounds through this thing before this review, and I have not had a single malfunction. Some of the cons is, again, the cost, but you're going to get what you're paying for. However, today I've noticed that most bolt carrier groups that have been enhanced at all, whether it be a coating or a different gas key or something like that, are running about the same cost as the Surefire. And the Surefire, to me, is the way that Jim Sullivan has designed it, the way that it is upgraded from a standard bolt carrier group. It's not just a coating. There's actually tweaks to the whole system that make it run more reliable. To me, the price is definitely worth it. One of the only cons that I could see is the proprietary components. I'm not going to be able to take some of the parts from a different bolt carrier group and slap it on there. Sure, I could put a firing pin in there, I can put the bolt in there, but as far as that integrated system, that's a Surefire component. The gas key on there, instead of using 2 pins, they use 1, so that's going to be a component that I'd have to get from Surefire. So just a couple things like that, but we'll see in the long run how long it actually works before I have to start replacing components on it. But with it being designed how it is, I'm not sure that I'll need to do anything in the lifetime of that bolt carrier group. So that's it on the bolt carrier group. The next part I want to talk about is my optic system that I've chosen to use. Instead of using like an ACOG or something like that, I've kind of brought this build into the now with an LPVO. This is the Voodoo 3-9 with a E-Flex on a diving board. So what I really love about this system is I can go from my magnified optic, just pop up my head, and I'm on a red dot optic. So I can go from shooting rounds further down range, and then if I've got a threat that's closer up, I don't have to worry about adjusting my magnification. All I have to do is move from here to here, and I can be on a closer target. Really love the optic systems that they're coming out with for that reason. It gives more function to my rifle. Now this is kind of like an all-purpose rifle. It's not just for long range, it's not just for short range. I can do both, and that's one of the reasons I went with the 14.5-inch barrel instead of a shorter one, just to have some longer range accuracy and capability out of this thing, and then still be short enough to be maneuverable if things get close. I'm loving this build, you guys. Like I said, it's probably my favorite AR that I've ever built. So I find myself shooting it over my MPX sometimes, to be honest. Now, of course, 5.56 a little bit cheaper than 300 Blackout, and more easily available. So, I mean, that's a big pro towards the Geissele as well. But yeah, I'm gonna get some range footage for you guys, and just to finish off on the Geissele, I think it absolutely lives up to its reputation. I have not had a single malfunction out of it. It shoots incredible. The recoil is super, like, I don't even know how to describe it. And, 5.56 isn't a huge recoiling round as it is, but you add in the Daniel Fence barrel, the Surefire bolt carrier group, and it gets to the point where it's kind of stupid how quick my follow-up shots can be out of this thing. It's durable, it's reliable, accurate, and it's built for getting down and dirty. So if you're looking for a top tier AR upper and you don't mind spending the money, this is definitely one of the best options out there. I might be a little bit biased at this point with the history of this thing, having built this one myself, but I think if you guys go out there and you shoot a URGI, you'll agree with me. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, you guys. Again, please like, subscribe, share the video, and help cycle my channel so I can get more content out there. Appreciate you guys. Hey guys, out here at the range. Right now I'm at 100 yards from my target. If you'll notice this little white target right here, next to it I've got a silhouette target. Just want to show some of the versatility of the URGI. Shooting it suppressed right now. Kid's asleep, so I'm trying not to wake him up too much. And anyway, I just really want to show the capabilities of the URGI, long distance, and then we'll get some close range stuff. But that's really, I like the versatility of the Voodoo and the E-Flex combo. With the Voodoo, I can reach out a little bit further, and then with the E-Flex, once it gets close up and personal, I got some quick target acquisitions with just using the red dot. So those are pretty quick shots at 100 yards on a small silhouette target. Let's move up a little bit closer and we'll do some closer range stuff. All right, now I'm at 50 yards from the target. I'm still going to be using the Voodoo. I probably could use the E-Flex in this close, but I've got it zeroed at 25 yards, so I'd have to aim a little bit low. So just for quick shots, I'm going to be using the Voodoo. You see how quick those shots are, you guys. This optic system is awesome. Now 25 yards. Man, it's a windy day out today, but you can't beat a day at the range. Woo! Everything up till now has been suppressed. Just wanted to show you guys the reliability of the URGI. I'm going to shoot some unsuppressed just so you can see. I haven't changed the cycling on the gas system. It's not adjustable gas block, but with the way that this is set up, it will function flawlessly, either suppressed or unsuppressed. No issues, guys.